It's Prowl 1701 here, and today on this poll result, we are looking at a poll I did where I posed the question, so what do you think of the 15th Doctor in the Christmas special, The Church on Roby Road? Are you excited for this new incarnation? Now, the question, of course, was, what do you think of the Doctor in the episode? I think some people misunderstood and thought I meant, what do they think of the episode? Maybe I could have phrased it better. But my question was, what do you think of the 15th Doctor, just going by the Christmas special? And I think he did really well in the polls, with 28% thinking he was really good. Just below that, 27% saying he was fantastic. 23% thinking he was fine, okay. Only 13% thinking he was terrible, and 9% saying not really feeling him as the Doctor yet. That is overwhelmingly positive, though. With only 13% of the vote, and we had, 253 votes? Especially considering it's mostly classic fans that watch my channel. So I didn't know how the vote was going to go. But only 13% thought he was terrible. And even the 9% that wasn't feeling him yet could just be saying, I'm not feeling him yet, I need to see more. With 23% thinking, hey, he's okay, he's fine, yeah, no problems. And then the top two, really good and fantastic, combining for 55%, over half the vote going into the at least really good, with 28% saying he was really good, 27% saying he was fantastic, combining for 55%. That's pretty impressive. I liked him myself. It would have been hard for me to vote between fantastic and really good. I actually feel like he's in between those. So yes, even on my own list, I have a problem trying to place him, because I think he was better than just really good. And I don't know if he was quite up to fantastic yet. Again, it's just his first story. It's kind of hard to judge, especially since Christmas stories aren't indicative for what a regular season is going to be like, really, because the Christmas stories are very much their own thing. But he was really, really good, and great, and I really liked him. So I kind of wish I could have put something between really good and fantastic, because I feel like that's where I would have put him. But it only lets me have 5 voting slots. I enjoyed him, though. I thought, I really liked his Doctor. I thought his acting was on point. I was actually really impressed, more so than I thought I was going to be, because just what little bit we got of him from the giggle really wasn't enough for me to form an opinion on. But he really did blow me away pretty well in the Christmas special. Let's see what you guys had to say on it. XO8 Chill says, it was enjoyable, but I have my gripes. A decent first story, but not a masterpiece. It's great to see how many have loved it. I'm excited for Shooty, but need to see a lot more, and I need to see him in regular start to finish episodes. Agreed, and well said. Sorry, it's really cold out. My sinuses are going. I agree. I need to see him in some regular season episodes. I'm going to really have a firm grasp on him once we get this first season of his out of the way, so I can really form an opinion on him. The Strange Lightbulb says, I thought it was good overall. Personally, was a big fan of the Goblin song. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Although I did get a kick out of the Doctor and Ruby singing, but I think it was a good introduction for Shooty's Doctor, and I think he really was really good overall. I really found that he came into his own by the end of the episode. I think Ruby was a pretty good companion, and her character seems interesting. I just think the whole Goblin plot was kind of weird, but everything else makes up for it. Another one here, it doesn't give me a name. I hate the fact it doesn't show names anymore. It gives, email handles now. Says, I'd go with pleasantly surprised. I liked Shooty in the role. I'm nervous about the Ruby character being another Rose, Amy, Clara, etc. The companion show, but I'll give it time. The dark tone was okay, but I do feel like this was basically Russell T. Davis's homage to the Hobbit movie, with the Goblin King basically being a ripped-off Tolkien character. The action felt a bit rushed, with even the extra 15 minutes of runtime being taken up with more exposition than plot development. But, and this is a big but, this had charm, which recent series have been missing, which makes me optimistic that this could be good going forward. A solid 7 out of 10 for me. President Lemon says, I don't ever feel someone is the Doctor until we have that mask slip moment. That moment when the Doctor shows that he is the ultimate danger to the universe, but that he chooses to be nice. You know all of those scenes. It's the reason why I don't feel Jodie's Doctor is the Doctor. She never had one of those moments. She was just too genuinely kind and playful, but the Doctor can't just be nice or playful. We should both love and fear him. And Strange Lightbulb, going on from this, said, I agreed. I really hope he has a moment like that in the upcoming season. Also, from interviews I've seen with JLBWHO, it seems we so far haven't had full representation of his character yet. And they had actually a nice little conversation between each other here, President and Strange did. That's actually really nice. DW Fan 91, who is over 11,000 subs himself, he does a great Doctor Who channel, I recommend. Says, I'm about as excited for modern Doctor Who as I have been since around 2015. In other words, over the moon. I know how much he loved the Chibs era. I said, but your reviews of the newer episodes have been positive, which they have. He says, they have, but I must confess this new era is feeling about exactly the same as what came before. Not that what came before was terrible, but let's just say I was hoping for a bigger switch up. That's fair, too, I think. Kato Kaya Animation says he is basically a Mary Sue. He not only learned to use the Goblin King magic than them in 15 seconds, he even sings and dances. Not excited yet, to be honest. Hope the character gets more layers in the future. We will see. Willie Logan says, I'm ready for season 14, 140, LOL. Fair enough. I already believe him to be the Doctor. I've had a good time so far, taking the 4 months in between to watch some Classic Who I hadn't seen yet. And there is some great Classic Who out there to watch. Rhino Skin, that's a funny name, says, my partner summed it up best. He will watch anything just to enjoy it. He said terrible and wooden acting from the companion. Also, the Doctor kills. He's from an advanced race. He doesn't like guns. Always uses his intellectual powers to outwit the bad guys. Yeah, which the Doctor, to him, he always says that's his greatest weapon, his brain. As for Molly, I need to see more of Ruby. I don't have an opinion formed on Ruby yet. I need to see more. Airsoft says, I don't know, there's just something missing with this Doctor to me, and the singing scene surely didn't help things. Hopefully it'll grow on you in time. Again, we need to see more of him. Honestly. President Lemon commenting said, what it might be, because it's a factor to me, is that the 14th Doctor is still around. You can't shake his presence off. And when you realize he is literally just down the road eating toast, it just feels off. This isn't the big factor for me, but it is one. Mark Postgate says, I didn't like the singing scene, but I get what it could be used as a bluff, like the 4th Doctor trying to distract a guard with a magic trick. Fair enough. It's kind of Warner Brothers cartoon character trickster strategy. The thing is, it should feel like a desperate bluff, not be well choreographed, and we should be able to read desperation in his eyes. And if it is a bluff, handing the second first to Ruby seems cowardly, like pushing her forward as a human shield. He doesn't know she is good at improvising songs. It would have been better if she had jumped in when he couldn't think of a line, rather than being a lyrical handover. Basically, if it had been played with an in-character thorough line that made sense in the fiction, it could have worked. Even some actual musicals, a genre that notoriously throws verisimilitude, I don't know why I can't talk today, and credibility to the wind because the rules of the genre do not require them, managed to give characters more thorough line than the scene did. I cannot talk today. I like that, though, the idea of him using the singing bit as a distraction at the end while he worked out a plan, which we've seen Troughton legendarily do. A lot of Doctors do that, but Troughton is legendary for buying time. Shamrock Particle says, well, he said amazing when seeing the other gremlin species prepare for dinner, and that has to be the most Doctorish one-liner in a very long time. But that's not enough. I also want to see who will be his love interest, since apparently he and Ruby will have some animosity over a possible relationship. I hope not. I really don't want that. I don't really like the Doctor being in relationships, any kind of relationships, honestly. If this new series is going to be good, we've been told by others to not include the former 60 years while watching these new ones, which is not anything that pleases me either. Mark Postgate says, these are two completely separate questions. I am sure Shooty is very capable to play the Doctor, but this special was terrible. Not remotely engaging or interesting. Some of the, what I imagine might be season arc stuff being teased might prove to be interesting with further exploration, like who is Mrs. Flood, who are Ruby's original parents might be interesting, but nothing in the standalone plot of the episode was interesting at all, including the Doctor and Ruby's relationship. From her point of view, he's a stalker, so why is she trusting him? And wouldn't a little distrust have introduced a little more drama? Bland, both mentally and emotionally undernourishing. And I pointed out, well, the question's about the 15th Doctor, not necessarily the episode, which Mark says, I don't think the episode served him well, but the episode did not serve the Doctor well. This is supposed to be the first episode of the first season, and it wants to pick up new audiences. Well, then it should hook them with what makes the Doctor and the world he inhabits unique, and I don't think that delivered here. I think Ncuti looks the part. He has the charisma. He needs a script that allows him to be the Doctor, and I don't think he's had that yet. But disclaimer, I've never liked a Russell T Davies Christmas special. To my mind, the best Christmas special of the Russell T Davies era was The Unquiet Dead, if you overlook the fact it aired in April. And I do like The Unquiet Dead, even though I can't watch it. It terrifies me. That said, The Church on Ruby Road was the weakest Christmas special he's ever done. Flood us a river until it fills a pond. Oh, okay, that's funny. Throw in an ocean and little pet puddles, the poodle too. Is Mrs. Flood really related to them, or maybe not? Shamrock adds, yes, considering it's a big Christmas Day episode and a new Doctor's proper premiere, the overnight rating is not good. The 7-day will hopefully reflect that, other than click watch for 3 minutes. Click to something else like a reality show or something. I believe the consolidated was well over 7 million, which in my opinion for this day and age is actually pretty good for a drama. Not that I claim to be an expert in how numbers work, but that seems good to me. The Truth 796 says, how is it not good the most watched drama? Yeah, how is it not good the most watched drama of Christmas Day? Love how people see what they want to see. It even beat EastEnders, which is still their flagship drama soap. So the ratings were good in perspective to other programs. Ranting, so the BBC will see this as a win. Again, I also agree that I think when you look at numbers these days, you have to look at the numbers of all the shows around it, what all the shows are getting number-wise these days, to really put in perspective whether a show is doing well numbers-wise. I mean, if a consolidated of 7 million is beating out most other shows, and I think you're doing really well. I think the landscape of viewing figures is just different now than what it used to be. Comparing them to numbers from City of Death just seems very disingenuous. Even comparing them to Russell T Davies, his first era, just seems very disingenuous, and something someone would do simply to try to make a losing my train of thought there. I think when people throw up numbers, it's because they're trying to slant the numbers to their side. Like when people say, well, this didn't get the numbers Voyage of the Damned did. Voyage of the Damned didn't get the numbers City of Death did. What's your point? Voyage of the Damned. I think there's even an episode of The Web Planet. I think it's the first episode of The Web Planet technically has higher viewing numbers than any episode of Modern Who, including Voyage of the Damned, if I remember correctly. Because viewing habits change. So I think the consolidated numbers are good for 2023. Joshua says yes. Henry Andrews, of course, is a huge contributor to the channel. He's constantly here in videos. It's always good to get Henry's opinion. Says really good. It was a Christmas special designed to introduce everyone to the new Doctor and Ruby Sunday, and that's exactly what it did. As far as Christmas specials go, it was great. It's not heaven sent, but at least it wasn't Kill the Moon. I like that. It's not absolutely fantastic, and it's not the worst thing ever. For me, it was miles better than the 15th anniversary of Series 4 specials that we had this year, and Ncuti felt like the Doctor fairly quickly. Henry C.L. Harris says, sadly, I preferred his energy and the giggle, hated those specials, and was looking for that, but he seemed vacant in the role. Smith and Whitaker and Eccleston I connected with instantly. Capaldi took until listen, but here I can't get with it, sadly. Or gel with it, sadly. Maybe much like Capaldi, he'll grow on you. Maybe. Let's see, there's some more to this one. Henry says, really? I never heard anyone say they connected with 13 instantly. Like, never. And he said, "What do you want about? You heard me say it, and I'll never forget the post people saying already she's one of the best." I've never seen those posts, but I know people who like Whitaker a lot. 2018 was literally divided opinion on her weekly, and for me, when she invented her Sonic in that sequence, I thought, "Wow, what an incentive, brilliant doctor she is." And to be fair, that is a great scene. I actually do love that scene in The Woman Who Fell to Earth when she invents her Sonic. That's a really good scene. I'm not a huge fan of Whitaker's doctor. However, that doesn't take away from the fact there are people who are. One of my regular subscribers, Naomi, she loves the 13th Doctor. And Henry seems to like the 13th Doctor as well. Good on you, Henry. If you like 13, you like 13. Skull Finster says, he and Millie, great. Story in hindsight was rubbish and made no sense. That's funny. I sometimes miss when people have these wonderful conversations with each other. I wish I'd seen that when it happened. So, yeah, it seems like everybody's getting on board with Shooty. I like that. I like the fact that he seems like he's delivering pretty well in his first story. Even some people in the comments who weren't too keen on the story itself liked his doctor to one degree or another, which is really nice. I'm curious to see more of Shooty Gatwa in the role, and I'm curious to kind of find out what his definitive take on his incarnation of the Doctor is going to be. So, I want to know what you think if you didn't get a chance to vote in this poll. So, comment down below and let me know what you think of the 15th Doctor in The Church on Ruby Road. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that down in the description. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins, because I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. YouTube memberships are available. My P.O. box is down in the description as well, as is a link to my Amazon wish list. Most importantly, thank you for watching.